Hello everyone. This short video will walk you through a good way to prepare for the exams. This video is for all sections and works for all sections, be that the traditional, the hybrid, or the online. So remember that exams are the primary way by which we grade you in this class. In fact, it's the only way. So it's important to prepare and do well on the exams to get a good grade in the overall course. Now, we try to make it very straightforward, but when you want to prepare for an exam, we have an exam preparation link that can be found on the Blackboard homepage. It's over here on the left-hand side. So you click on that link, and it's going to direct you to the respective exam that you're preparing for. So as most of you watch this, you're going to be preparing, hopefully, for exam one. So click on exam one, and there are three distinct things that you can find on this page. We'll sort of tackle them one by one. So let's start with the resource guide. So the resource guide is an important feature of every exam. Each exam features a resource guide. So we're going to click on the resource guide for exam one. I'm actually going to get it to pop out so we can see it a little clearer. And each exam, like I said, carries a resource guide, and this resource guide consists of two components, the chapter overview and the question table. Now, the chapter overview just tells you what you should have learned preparing for the exam in that chapter. So, for example, for chapter one, you should be able to identify and explain the different parts of the finance industry and discipline, right? And you can look at these for chapter one, chapter two, and chapter three. Probably most importantly, for those of you who are preparing for the exam, is the question table. Now, the question table is a list of the questions that will appear on exam one. Now, that sounds a little too good to be true, and it might be, but every exam will consist of 20 multiple choice questions. Now, these questions can be quite rigorous, and so just because there's 20 doesn't mean it's going to be a walk in the park. Now, this table here tries to tell you or narrow down what questions we might ask. So let's start and let's actually look at this table, and we'll start here with question one, right? This row right here. So question one is going to be a 4-point question. Questions on the exams will either be 4 or 6 points, depending on their degree of difficulty. So question one is going to be a 4-point question, and it's going to cover these three topics. Now, these topic titles are actually titles of the videos that can be found in the respective modules on Blackboard. So you can watch those videos and get an idea of what question one is going to be about. In the next column, we include chapter references for what question one could be about. So you can go to the book and read those sections. And then finally, in this last column, you see that there are 3 question codes. I'm trying to highlight them. There we go. FF32, FF29, and FF20. These are specific questions that you can practice, but there's 3 of them. So what does that mean? Well, it means that there is a 33% chance that FF32 could be on your exam, and a 33% chance that FF29 could be on your exam, and a 33% chance that FF20 could be on your exam as question number 1. So it's going to be one of those 3, right? So if you know all of them, hey, you're in pretty good shape. And so now let's look at question number 2. Question number 2, well, it's a harder question. It's worth 6 points. Now, question 2 references these 2 topic videos, Merger Mechanics 1 and 2, so you could watch those. It also references chapter 2, section 2, so you can look in the book and see what it's about. Now look here in this last row, or this last column, excuse me. There's only one question code, which means question FA3J will be question number 2 on your exam. That's how that works. And so it's definitely going to be on there. And you can see that there are other questions on this table that are definitely going to be on there, like FA1, FA4, BA6, and the like. And so this is a really valuable resource that helps you sort of really focus your studying efforts to do well on this exam. So that's the question table. So let me go back here to Blackboard. I'm going to back up a little bit. Now, in that exam prep file, under the exam 1, we looked at the resource guide. Now there's also practice questions for exam 1. This is a great resource. So using the resource guide, you know what questions are going to be on the exam. Now, the Exam 1 practice questions lets you actually practice them. So according to the resource guides, I know that, I forgot the name of it, FA3J is going to be on the exam. So I simply scroll down until I see FA3J. Hey, look, it's right there. And if I click on that, it's going to bring me to a test that lets me practice FA3J. Hey, look, there it is, right? So I think the answer, as always, is C. So I hit C, I hit save and submit. Sure, why not? Then I click OK here at the bottom. Oh, look at that. I didn't get it right. But it allows me to practice that question. And I can practice it over and over and over again. And this brings up a very good point about how we structure our exams. Yes, we're telling you what questions are on the exams. However, it's going to be a version of that question. So FA3J is going to be slightly different on my exam. And most likely it's the numbers that change. It's a small variation on it. Another nice feature of these practice questions is that if you click here, it's actually going to open up a video that gives you a solution to FA3J. Even better. And so these practice questions are an excellent resource into trying to cover the questions that are in the question table. And so let me back up one more. Oops, let me get back to where I was. Exam prep, exam 1. So the last thing I'll show you is take a simulated exam 1. Now, if you use the resource guides and then you use the practice questions, you should be able to know how to do every single question. But one of the biggest issues people have is that at exam time, you have to do those questions in a 75-minute setting. And this, the exam simulation, allows you to do that, to practice. So if you click begin on this screen, it's going to generate an exam that's based upon the rules of the question table, and it will give you 75 minutes to complete it. So it's a real simulation of what the actual exam would look and feel like. Now, you get 3 attempts at this, and so that's probably a very optimal amount. And so do try to use this wisely. So those are the resources available to prepare for the exams. I would strongly encourage you to take advantage of them. If you have any questions, you can post a question to the discussion board or email Dr. Hanby or myself. Take care.